Well, today I'm going to just touch on the topic of when things go bad, make them better, and how that can be opportunity. For me, it just feels like that point. As we know, a company I was looking for no longer exists. Hasn't stopped me from working. Instead, people have called me asking me to work when they found out from other people, because they knew what I was involved in doing, I guess, it would seem. Because I haven't really told that many people about what happened, but the people that it affected directly, that got screwed over by it, not by me, but by the way that whole situation went, word gets around, I guess, and people ask me to do stuff, so I had an opportunity to go help at a much bigger event yesterday, and it was definitely a lot of doing, a lot more than I'm generally daily used to doing, as far as like a giant setup with tons of stuff and lights as big as your body and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool, but I think it'll make a lot more opportunity for me, having had all this other stuff fall apart. And with all the downs, I'm trying to make big changes in my own life. So I'm pursuing school, and I decided to change what I was going to go to school for. I think I had mentioned this already, to be a registered nurse. So I went and had an orientation and stuff for it today, which all went well, and then I found out some other things I got to do, because there's a lot involved in that, just compared to like going to school for something. I'll say it's harder to get into, I guess, but it seems like one of those things, like if you want to do it, you have to really want to do it and take the time and put in the effort, and you know, just to get into the program, and you know, and I'm just going for like a 2-year thing for now, you know, which isn't a bachelor's degree, but it's definitely more than nothing, so I can get into the work and do stuff, and kind of take my life in a different direction than I had ever thought. I've known plenty of people who have gone to school for it, and I always thought to myself, like, I don't know, these are all really smart people. I'm not saying I'm not smart, but for me, it was just a lot of effort, and all the stuff that was already going on with me and my life and my time. I don't know, it just, for me, was one of those things that seemed like it would just take away from, you know, I guess it was a difficulty thing, like, oh, it's really hard, I'm not going to bother, but okay. But you know, the more I think about, I'm at an age where I feel like I need to really, like, you know, figure out what I'm doing with my life and make something happen. So I'm pretty serious about doing it, and you just got to do the work and get it done, and it's going to take time. And I think that's really the hardest part to me, is like you know, it's going to take you years to accomplish, but you'll get there eventually. You just got to keep your life together in the meantime. So I think some good work options have opened up for me, and I'm pursuing them and talking to people and whatever, so we'll see where it all goes. And I hope it's for the best, or better, which so far it seems like it will be. Yeah, life changes. Sometimes you have to just do it, and it's not even your fault. It just happens, and then you have to figure out what you're going to do. But I would say that when something goes terribly wrong, figure out what it is that you'd really like to be doing and go pursue it, because that way I guess you'll be more motivated. Because for me, being more motivated is I don't know, I guess I see things a lot differently than I used to, because it used to be like, oh, well, you know, that's not for me, because it's difficult, like, and it really will be, but for me, I don't know, I'm just more motivated these days to do stuff and be tired all the time, which I already am, and don't sleep that much, so that works out great in that aspect, I suppose. Yeah, so that all went well. I got to tour the school and get some better insight on stuff, and I set up some meetings to speak with some people who are going to help me get in the right path of what I need to get done ahead of time, and classes to take up to that point, because there's always, for like the nursing stuff, there's kind of a waiting period to get accepted into it. And I've already been accepted into a different program that was not related to this at all, and that's not the way I really want to go with my life. I've always had a really challenging time in life, I suppose, and like the line of work I do now doesn't really feel challenging anymore. It's just kind of like, it's a fun job and all, but it's gotten to that point where it doesn't feel like difficult, I guess, and once something becomes that way for me, it becomes boring. So I think that this will always be kind of a difficult thing, and especially getting into it, so it's kind of the challenge of getting over the hump, and then you have to do the things to get there, and then you accomplish something. It's the feeling of accomplishment that drives me, I guess. And a lot of the jobs I've had over the years have been really average, low paying. A bunch of them have been like labor, or just, I don't know, like easy but boring and repetitive, and those all seem to just, once you do it so many times, it just becomes so boring, and you just hate it. Yeah, when you hate doing something, there you go. Why do it? So, I don't like hating the things I do. But when I think about like the nursing stuff, it's kind of like I don't like looking at people with giant gashes in their thing, or I cut half my thumb off. Ooh, so let me sew you up. Here we go. But to me, it's kind of like everything else. Once you do something so many times, or you see something so many times, especially in that aspect of things, you become numb to it. Like for me, I've become very numb to a lot of stuff with people, just dealing with people, the way people are, situations. Like there's so many people that I know who, if you told them, what's a good example? Alright, without an example, I would say, you're either joking around about something that someone would take seriously, like, I don't know, rape or something, but there are a lot of people who just, like, get really weird at you, like, oh my god, how can you say that? What? Like, okay, just stop, shut up, nobody cares. And that shit just drives me nuts, because, to me, it's like, there's your people who have common sense, and there's your people who just don't get life and the average things of it, and freak out about everything that isn't like touchy-feely, normal, whatever. And I hate that. But I guess for my example of like, seeing really disturbing things, it's something you get used to, I guess, and then you get used to people being like they are and freaking out about stuff, but I don't know, it's just one of those things where I know, like to me it's creepy when you see someone have a gash or a cut, or here, let me stick this needle in you to give you a shot. Like, that stuff is creepy. Here, give me some stitches. But in my mind, when I look at this stuff, I think about how it feels. So that's, I guess, what it is for me. Like, you know it hurts. And you know it's like, because I've been there or whatever. And, you know, but when you're on the other end of it, I think if you just, it's one of those things to me, if you do it once, like if I was going to stitch you up because you know, were going to die if I didn't, well, one, you're going to do it because you care. And I hate everyone, and secretly I like people, but I just tell everyone that I hate everyone. I care about people, but that's a secret, so... But yeah, you know, when you're on the other side of that needle and it's not like hurting you, yeah, the person might be in pain or something. But I think once you just kind of do stuff enough, you kind of get over it being creepy or weird, or, you know. If you want a great example of that you can do yourself, it's dangerous, don't do this at home. Go, I don't know, find like a 20-story building and get on top of it and just go stand on the edge or sit on the edge and look down, because you're going to feel really weird and like you're going to fall and you're going to get all lightheaded and weird, and it's like that to me. But because that's how like seeing people with open wounds is, and blood and whatever. But you know, if you go stand up on top of the ledge of that building or sit there and look down, though you suddenly feel like you're going to fall off or you get dizzy or something, the more that you do it and the more that you're there, you'll get over your fear of that, and you'll stop feeling like you're going to just tip over. You know, it's no different if you sat on like a 4-foot ledge. You're not going to feel unsafe there. You're just going to sit there and go, okay, well, I'm not... You won't even think about the fact that you're high up or not high up. You know, 4-foot ledge, you just look down like, okay, because you know nothing's going to happen. But when you're up on like a 20-story building on the edge of this, for your mind, it's just like, you feel like it's windier than it is or something, or like something's going to make you tip forward. But it's all kind of in your head to me, and I don't know. So if you want to know how it feels to me to see people all gashed up or bloody or look at that stuff or have to deal with that stuff, that's what it's like. But I've been on enough tall ledges and shit and made myself get over that it doesn't bother me anymore. So it's something I think I'll do just fine in, and I'm always the person who needs to know everything. So any like job I've ever had, I always pursue trying to figure out how everything works or is dealt with, because when someone has a question, then I have the answer. I can just be like, okay, we got to get this done. Here it is. Oh, well, how do I? Here you go. This is what you need to do. You know, and in most jobs, I always felt like, you know, there's a lot of people that I hate it when trucks have those tires. Anyway, what was I saying? In most jobs, there's always like the people who are there to like get it done, and then there are the people who are just kind of there, and they just stand there. It's like, what are you doing? And then when like the boss is like, hey, I need someone to blah, they all just kind of look at each other, and then I'm the guy who has to like step up and do the thing, because otherwise everybody's going to get bitched at. So that's how I see a lot of previous jobs for me, you know. Like I always had to be that guy, or there was hell to pay for me, not anyone else. Somehow it always seemed like it was on me if something didn't get done. And then I always seemed to get in that role of like, okay, well, you're the guy in charge, and what the hell, why isn't this done? And everyone else is like, you know, screwing off or being buddies with the guys that they know they can get away with shit. Those people usually tend to be the guys that think it's fun to rip on each other. And it's like funny, and then they do it to me, and I'm like, fuck you. So, because that's not how I... They could have all gone, sitting in the middle of the fucking road. Go! Driving instructor. Anyway. Yeah, I've been in so many positions like that, and in those cases I always end up learning everything.